Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday, aka Newsday edition of Born to Be a Star. It's Tuesday. NXT is coming on tonight. Yesterday, I watched WWE.
Look, you did the best you could do, and I know you and I
think Roman's gonna beat Fatu. Fatu keeps talking about the family he needs to feed and all this ridiculous shit. And doesn't everybody have a family to feed? Do we go into our jobs thinking, I gotta get this money? I get paid a salary every year. Like, I think I get paid whatever the way they do insurances, where I get paid twice a month. So on the 15th and the 30th, or whatever the last day is, typically my paycheck. So, I don't know. Listening to Fatu act like he needs to do what he's doing, I don't really think it's that smart. I know people want to sell, Roman Reigns. I think Roman is actually a good fighter, and I think the reason why he beat CM Punk is because Punk underestimated him, and when you underestimate somebody that's good, it kind of doesn't work. Just like how Darby Allin beat MJF on AEW. It's because he was way too confident. Clearly, I'm obsessed with wrestling, and I watch way too much of it, including TNA, and AEW, and WWE, and NXT, and AWO, or yeah, the other one with the lead singer of one of my favorite bands, NWO. I'm sorry. All I basically do is watch fighting every day, as well as other things, but mostly fighting. Honestly, it's like interesting.
Hello. Yeah. Get Abyss in my office. I want to see him now. Thanks.
It looks like today is Tuesday, another day, another opportunity for us to look in the mirror to love the reflection we see, for us to start off our day by saying, yes, we can have a great day. Yes, we can try something new. Yes, we can change our favorite color. Yes, we can decide we want to knit, crochet, or play an instrument. The trombone, that seems like a lot of work. The piano, you're really going to have to focus and pay attention to that. Maybe you want to play a new video game. Maybe you want to get a new comic book. Maybe you want to find a new container for your magic cards. Maybe you want to start a new relationship, or get a new friend, or travel somewhere you never traveled before, or buy a new car. Maybe you're ready to move. Maybe you want to buy some property. Maybe you want to change your career or your major at school, or get a different roommate. Whatever it is, big or small, or deciding to like ketchup and mustard on your hot dog versus just relish. Every day is an opportunity for you to say to yourself, yes, you can. Following the idea of yes, you can is the idea of never giving up. Now, we all know life is difficult and bad things happen to good people, but regardless of the difficulty, we try to persevere through it. I think more than anybody in the world, I know about bad things happening. Primarily in my life, when it rains, it pours, and bad things happen to me, so I'm used to it, but I don't take it personally, right? I'm not living a life where I'm like, surprised when things go bad. I just take life one day at a time, and I stop comparing myself to other people or allowing life to get me down. I just kind of live with it, and I move strong. Honestly, every day is an opportunity for me to face fear instead of hiding from it. That's the idea of never giving up, is to persevere through difficulty instead of hiding from it. we need to remember the doctors, the nurses, the EMTs, the firefighters, the police officers, the Army, the Reserve, the National Guard, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and the countless others that sacrifice everything to protect us too. And we need to fight with them through this difficulty. We have to persevere through the negativity, and we have to conquer fear, and we have to conquer doubt. It's always going to be there. Someone's always going to tell you what you can't do, where you can't go, what you can't accomplish. And you have to find the strength to fight through it, to get to tomorrow and the day after that. That is the idea of never giving up. Thank you, John Cena. We appreciate you. Following the idea of never giving up is the idea of, why not today? Procrastination and indecisiveness doesn't help anybody, does it? You have to make decisions and live with them. You have to organize. You have to plan effectively. You have to plan out doctor's appointments on a yearly basis. And you have to know where you're going if you're going somewhere you've never been before. Facts of life. If you don't organize, if you don't plan effectively, if you're not 5 to 20 steps ahead, then you're 5 to 20 steps behind. You can't buy time, control it, or stop it. So you have to be aware of the time that you do have available. If we don't get things done, if we don't show up and work on time, if we don't plan effectively if we're going somewhere, if you don't pack enough things if you're traveling, you're going to find out it's not going to work when you run out of socks. If you know you're going to have a busy day, plan for the day. If you know you're going to have a busy weekend, plan for the weekend. Stop putting off today for tomorrow and not making decisions thinking that things are going to get fixed. They're not. That's not how that works. I like the saying, the early bird gets the worm. I like to be the early bird. I like the worm. I don't want to be the late bird. I don't want to not get the worm or try to fight for the worm when 80 other people want it. Let's be effective at doing things while we can't do it before we can't do it anymore. That's the idea of Quiet Place 5, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Terminator. Those should be lessons. We should watch those things and be aware of the fact that at any point, even though that's not real, aliens could potentially take over. And don't we want to accomplish things before we can't do it anymore? We should really be attempting that. That should be the idea of why not today. Doing things when you can. That's the idea of why not today. Get things done today before you don't have any time tomorrow. That's the idea. That's it. Moving on from the mantra, let's get into the tea. Sipping the tea, sipping the tea, sipping the tea for you and me, sipping the tea. So let's drink chamomile tea. I don't know. I've never tried it, but I'm willing to try it. So I think it's important we discuss the job market, or the job market for the youngest generation. Kids now have an expectation that everything they do is going to go viral and they're going to be the next best thing or the next biggest thing on, I don't know, a podcast or a stream. They think that they're going to come out with a video or they're going to go famous on YouTube or TikTok and everybody's going to want to watch them. But there's too much competition. There's too many people for you to actually be recognized. There's competition in all these things. And I think that there's a lot of people that have an expectation that they're going to either go to, I don't know, like school or college, and they're just going to be able to find a job that's going to pay them like $200,000 or something. Let me tell you the truth from the beginning. In order for you to make that much money, you have to do a lot of things to earn it. I was at my niece's Cammie's birthday party on the weekend last weekend, and 4 out of 7 of the adults that were there have to drive into work. Now, they all make a lot of money. Some of them, one not as much as the other, but they have to drive. They have to commute to work, whether it's on a train or a plane or a bus or a car. They have to get there. That means they have to wake up early. They have to plan out for their day. They have to get home late, and they don't have like a comfortable environment because they're constantly working. They're constantly trying to catch up. I have the luxury of working like basically remote except for 2 days. So I guess it's not remote. It's hybrid, but it's basically remote because I haven't been in my office in so long. I forgot what it looked like. I'm going in there one day this week, but I have the luxury because I can do my job at home. I don't need to be in the office. It's 2026. We really don't need offices anymore. It's not the corporate climate has changed. So the idea these young people think, these Gen Zers or these people, they have this ideology where they think they're going to graduate from college, some maybe okay college, and then they think they're going to get some prima donna job. And there's a lot of nepotism in corporate America. I've witnessed it firsthand. My last manager wanted to get his daughter hired at the place, and he was doing all this shit to try to get her hired, making up this shit. And she wakes up every day at 12 o'clock, and she's going to get hired for what? Okay. So, there's a lot of nepotism, and there's a lot of just uncanny failure. Before you end up getting a job that's going to pay you $150,000 to $200,000 a year, you're going to have to put a lot of effort into it and get ready for no life. You're giving something for that money. It's called time. And you only have 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week. Well, get ready to work 10 days a week in a 7-day week time frame and get ready to have no time and no life and nothing if you want that much money. They don't understand what goes into that much money. They don't even understand what goes into half of that money. They have an expectation that they're going to graduate and just get $200,000. And I don't know if education is preparing people for reality. I don't really think it's helpful. So when you think about the job market, you got to think about who's in the job market. Are they worth the money that they're seeking? Are they doing the job as best as they can? I don't really know. I think that it's kind of a one-sided thing where we have this expectation that you're supposed to earn something even if you don't do the work to earn it. And that's actually bizarre and doesn't make any sense. I can't be the only one that thinks that. I know that my husband can't stand it. Anytime I talk about the job market or people and graduating, he just thinks education is a complete con job and he thinks it's a waste of time. I kind of agree with him. But a lot of other people don't get it.
You try to leave this building, and it won't be pretty. No, Mr. Bishop, no.
It's just an awareness that you need to have. Everything is competitive, and the longer we lie to ourselves and pretend that people are just going to get everything handed to them, the worse off it's going to be. You're not going to get shit if you don't earn it. Sometimes you have to crawl before you walk and walk before you run, and you have to start at the beginning to get to the end. That's typically how that works. And the idea that you're thinking you're just going to get somewhere means you're not really thinking.
What do you think you're going to do with that bat?
Honestly.
Don't worry about it. It's not what you think. It's not what I'm going to do with this bat. It's what you're going to do with this bat. See, I wanted to see this bat used against all odds, but I was rather disappointed when it wasn't. So tonight, Jeff, I want you to use it.
I'm really not sure what goes on with this education debacle or the job market. In an AI-based iota where artificial intelligence and electronics are being harnessed and taken over, and farms are being layered down to build AI stations, we need to be considering what's next. If you don't use your skills so you don't go extinct, you're going to go extinct. They are going to completely eliminate the human presence in a lot of things. And at some point, I read this article, they're going to put chips in your arm and things like that. And automation is going to take over everything. So how do you find a way to not become extinct in that? You find a way to be involved in creating that, harnessing it, leveraging it, and assimilating it. That's how you don't get replaced. You work in an environment where they need you to be there to make the other things better. And I'm not sure that kids that are 18 understand that. And education is definitely not teaching that to them. I don't really think you need to go to school anymore to be successful. And there's a bunch of different things you could do which don't require that. But if you are going to go, you should understand what you're going to need to harness to prepare for the market ahead. Your competition is my husband. And if your competition is my husband, you're not getting the job. But he's not in the job market because he cares about the money. He's in the job market because he cares about the comfort. I agree with that. We're really good at our jobs because we're smart. But honestly, things are just going to get better if we work hard at it. That's the idea behind this education thing. They have to understand reality. Maybe they don't need these big glamorous things, and they have to understand the context of budgeting and bank accounts and money and leverage and what they're getting and what they're signing up for. People really need to be paying attention. If you want to live a very easy life, then don't become house poor and don't invest in things that are going to completely suck you dry. Just a thought. That's the tea. Moving on from the tea, let's get to the next part of the conversation on this Tuesday. Wardrobe update. Well, a wardrobe update is to just throw everything away and to have a very small amount of things that you can just mix and match. Like, I think the more things you have, the worse off you are. I really want to stop operating with a limited amount of things. I want to prepare to leave or move, and I don't want to be like packing up a bunch of shit. So I'm okay with throwing shit out because I do think less is more. And because I like nicer things, I'd rather have more expensive designer quality things than crappy things, right? We want things that are going to last longer and keep their keep its value, because if you don't, you're gonna have bad quality shit that isn't gonna last long. That's why you don't get cheap shit. That's why you don't wear store brand. That's why you get nice things. Because if you don't get nice things and you do get cheap shit, it's not gonna last long and it's gonna be bad quality. And that's the reality of it. I kind of think that because I used to work in an environment where I had to dress up like I was in like a lawyer, right, at a law firm or in a courtroom, I have all these dressy clothes. Now I'm going to keep some of them, but for the most part, I'm getting rid of all of it. I get to...
You watch an X Division match, you watch these X Division athletes, it's like watching a human car wreck. And the X Division will be showcased at Destination X, our March pay-per-view event. The champ back in Doug Williams. Battering ram style. Shots, headbutts, forearms. Well, Doug Williams, X Division champion, probably one of the
honestly,
X Division competitors. Oh, man.
If you're not feeling it, switch it up. We're living in an environment where loungewear is the most thing, and I primarily just wear leggings and comfy clothes, and I'm not looking to be uncomfy. So switch it up and do whatever makes you happy. That's for dude and a dudette. Doctors on Zoom are far better than doctors in person. I wish more things could be on Zoom. It makes everything better. It's just like very quick, very fast, and it makes more sense to me. I had like a doctor's appointment with Dr. Ingman where we were talking about what we were going to do with our plan. And it was so easy to talk to him like that versus going to see him, like driving all the way there. Like, I can't imagine why people wouldn't want to do more Zoom appointments with doctors. Far better in every way. Could you move in a weekend? I think like the only way you could potentially try to actually like move your entire house in a weekend is if you use the entire week to pack, or like weeks before to get everything packed up to move. I don't know if you'd be able to move everything in an entire weekend. We're talking about like
Keep your eyes on red from the top. Dive off the top down to the floor. Guy landed on his feet.
we're talking about packing up like the kitchen and the bedrooms and the bathroom and the closets and everything, and doing that in a weekend. You would have to pack everything first, have everything labeled, have everything taped up, and have everything ready in advance. Because if you didn't do that, it would be difficult. It's not really doable. Like, I think you should plan out effectively to know what you're getting rid of. This is why I think you should clean shit out and not have more shit than you need. So if you do have to move or do something, it won't take that long. You need to have the boxes ready. You need to have the bags ready. You need to plan effectively during the week. So when you get to the weekend, you could just put the shit on a truck and then move where you're going. You could probably do that in a weekend. Definitely, I think that's possible.
In such a short amount of time, such amazing things would happen.
The housing failure has left out people that actually want to get a house, first-time home buyers. Everything is overpriced. Everything is unaffordable. And people are actually house poor. It's not a good look to get into something that you can't afford, and these down payments aren't worth it, and these houses aren't worth it. They're not worth the amount of money that people are paying for them, and I'm not sure that they're getting what they're paying for. You have to live in reality, not in the fake reality you want. And I've been in some of these houses. We've checked them out. We've gone to, like, look at them. We've had a realtor. We've been there. We've seen it. Like, especially where we live, like, these things are just, I don't know. But I do think that this housing failure wasn't an accident. I kind of think that they're all in it. They're all in on it. And they want to make it more difficult for people to be able to have any type of comfort with that. And, like, so you have to make a decision. Because, like, the rent costs as much as the houses, and the houses aren't really worth it. And then you have to, like, mow the lawn, and if anything happens in a house, you have to get it fixed, and you have to do it yourself. If you're in an apartment or you're renting something, you can always rely on someone else to fix it. That is the idea of understanding the housing market. Be careful what you're paying for. Picking your neighborhood is definitely essential. You definitely want to live somewhere that's near everything or in the middle of everything, and you want to have a place that's near highways, and you want to have a place, if you have a family, that's near schools for your kids. These are things that are definitely important, and you definitely want to have in perspective if you're moving somewhere. You want your neighborhood to be a place where kids can grow up, and you also want your neighborhood to be a place where you don't have to drive far to get shit. People that live in, like, rural areas where there's nothing there, that's very difficult. Like, that's not for me, that's for other people. But I like being in areas where there's people. I don't want to be in an area where I have to drive far to get to stuff. That seems ridiculous. Who wants to deal with that? I'm not sure. But I guess that's good if you don't want to deal with loud noise and stuff. There has to be a balance between it. Celebrating every day, because if you don't celebrate every day, you could potentially be wasting every day. That's a thought. Today is Tuesday, so we will be watching NXT, and tomorrow we will be watching AEW. And every night now we're watching old school TNA to remember our friend, the Hulkster. And it's very interesting. I was considering rewatching Sons of Anarchy because I don't remember the last season of it. And I was thinking maybe I should just watch it again. I did watch it during COVID, but that was a couple of years ago, so maybe I'll watch it again. That was a great show. Skip's been looking at the TNA vaults. He's been checking those out, and there's so much in the TNA vaults. We have access to that, so we've been definitely watching that. What do we think's next on NXT? So tonight there seems to be two matches that seem to be important. There's the women's champion, and there's all the beef going on trying to attack her. And there's, what's that guy's name? The green one?
Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana is going to be on. The chick with the red hair, that's going to be on, because now, what's her name? The one that went to Monday Night Raw? So Ruka went to Monday Night Raw yesterday. So she's off NXT. So now there's not going to be that beef between her and her ex-best friend. Very interesting. But I think So Ruka is probably head of WWE. So it's going to be entertaining to watch, see what she does. Is she going to take the medal from Liv? I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But on NXT, it just seems like there's a lot of people that are sour and bitter, and there's a bunch of other people running around, and the matches are crazy, and who knows what's happening. It's crazy. And who knows? But I think NXT has a lot of new people that are trying to get name recognition, and they want to be popular and everything. Seems like Ethan Page is on there, and some other people from like AEW. I think Ethan Page was on AEW. Skip said that last week. There's a bunch of people that are desperate for attention, and they're desperate to get their names out, and they want to show that they're big and bad. But it seems like there's a lot of that going on there. Who knows? We'll see what happens, I guess. Do Not Enter looks like a horror movie I want to watch. Heel, The Affair to Remember. Ooh. The Whistler, that looks kind of scary. Sniper Nation, I'm thinking that's like a Hitman movie. We'll find out. The Mack and The Warning. Anything with warning in it makes me feel like I want to watch that. As far as food goes, had the meal prep for lunch today, which was protein pasta with turkey, meatballs, and broccoli. Pretty good, not too bad. For breakfast this morning, I had a shake, and for dinner tonight, we are having something Mexican. Looks like verde enchiladas with Mexican street corn. Fire! Multiple meatless days. I do think you could potentially have 3 meatless days.
And remember what Eric Bischoff said earlier tonight on Impact to Jeff. He said, "Do not disappoint me, Jeff." The question is Jarrett going to use the barbed wire baseball bat on Abyss? We're going to find out when we return to Impact.
I think that you can have multiple meatless days. You can just plan effectively to not have meat for, if you're drinking protein shakes, that's already not meat. For lunch, if you eat a salad, you don't have to put meat in it. And then for dinner, you could literally have like either a Beyond Meat meal, or you could literally have a meal that it has like seafood and doesn't have meat in it. It's very easy for you to mix things and not have one thing versus another and be very effective. That is the idea of a variety.
Here comes Jarrett from the middle row. Committed. What air? And he paid for it because of the choke slam. Here's one. Here's two. No. Wow.
Just a thought. Meal preps and simple dinners, because who wants to go through taking an hour to make a dinner that you're going to eat in 20 minutes? This is why I want that damn Tavala thing to just shove the shit in a Tavala. It's done in 7 minutes and I eat it. Like, even takeout takes too long. Like, I want simplistic things that don't take forever. I like the idea of not taking forever to cook things. Not that cooking isn't fun, but like, you could do like one pot meals or stuff like that where it's cooking during the day and it's done by the time you're done with work. I would advise things like that, or like meal prep like your dinners too, so you don't have to cook stuff. Like eating the same thing for dinner more than once, so there's multiple days eating something. That is the idea of making meal preps easy. Simple dinners are things that aren't too complicated. That is the idea of making dinner fun.
Jarrett's under the pressure imposed by that man, Eric Bischoff, to use it in destroying Abyss.
Yeah, Jarrett's gonna bring it. Jarrett's gonna do it.
Are we gonna get going?
Jarrett,
Make sure you
second
put some
thoughts.
socks on.
Well, moving on from simple meals, olipop and popi are taking over soda. Adding flavor and limiting fat is simple because you just marinate everything and then you cook it. Not all fries are good, like Five Guy fries are bad. And shakes and breakfast.
I knew I couldn't trust you to get the job done. Yes! Now!
Guys,
Match is still going on here. Guys, who got...
that's Homicide, that's Raymond, that's Tomko, that's Rhino, that's Desmond Wolf.
Right, that was Wolf. Oh my God. Forget about the match.
Eric Bischoff has sent the troops
What a bunch of jackets.
out for destruction. Bischoff anticipated
That
would not use the barbed wire bat on Abyss like he was instructed.
is the idea of simplicity for breakfast. Not making it, but having it as a shake. And I'm switching over to the Viking shakes probably in a week or two. So I'll tell you how I like those flavors. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to this Tuesday edition of Born to Be a Star. And I'll see you guys same place, same time tomorrow on Hump Day. Remember that you're a star wherever you are. Hello, goodbye, good morning, good night, and ciao. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Holding the monster Abyss in place. They're holding him in position.